Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So we're going to do access again today, and we're going to produce calculations at runtime. One way of performing a calculation on data in a database is to create a calculated field which is worked out in a calculation performed on other fields already in the database. This is called a calculation produced at runtime. So we should load the Microsoft Access and open our personnel database. It's not necessary to have all of these. If you have it there, you don't have to change anything. It's just for the video's sake, I would just like to have all of this clean. And we are going to create a query. So let's create a query. Go to Query Wizard, Simple Query. Let's see what it is we have to add. Add the fields asked for to the selected field box and then select Next. Note you will need to use the fields from both tables. Add the next window, click on Next. Okay, so we are just going to just make sure what it is we have to add. The company has decided to give all employees a 5% pay raise. You have been asked to produce a query that shows the fields employee number, surname, description. Okay, so let's just get that employee number, surname, description. Where is description? Description might be here in departments description, and salary. So salary we will get in employees again, so salary, and those are the only ones that we need, along with two new calculated fields. So we are going to produce those. One of these calculated fields is going to be called pay raise, and the other one is going to be called new salary. Okay, so first we just make sure we have all the right fields there, and we're going to call this query pay raise. So query pay raise and pay raise, and then we're just going to modify the query design. So we say yes. We can see the relationship between the departments table and the employees table. So department and department, and we're going to create two new fields over there. So click on finish and the query design will be as shown. So we have the same one as theirs. In the first row of the first blank column, enter the following formula. So we're going to say pay raise, colon, salary times 5 divided by, so that's to get 5%. So this is going to be called pay raise, and I'm just going to make that small letter, just so that it's exactly the same as theirs. And some of you have had errors here. Try to type it exactly as you see it there. If there's going to be an error, it's usually because we mistyped something. So what we're saying now, create a new column called pay raise, and the formula of how we're going to get this is we're going to say take the salary, so take all the values in the salary that's relevant to this row, salary, times it by 5 and divide it by 100. This is how you get 5% of something, so that's the raise. So 5 divided by 100, so this is how it's going to look, and then we just press enter, and it should work now. So if I go to this view, you can see that we have 5% of 32,000. So for in case, we have 32,000 times 5 divided by 100, and that is 1,600. Or if you just want to say 5, I think there's a percentage sign over here, but 5% is just 5 divided by 100, so 0.05 times 32,000, 1, 2, 3, is 1,600. So this is actually correct. So it's a really nice way of, yeah, so you can make your own columns in as well. So let's just see what they want to say. So there are important points to remember with formula. The new field name is written to the left of the colon. So the pay raise is the name of our new field name. Field names that are used in the formula have to be exactly the same as those used in the database. I have had people that spell salary S-A-L-E-R-Y instead of S-A-L-A-R-Y. So just make sure that spelling does actually matter here, because if you don't spell this correctly, the computer isn't smart enough to know that this is actually what you meant. So if the programmer actually coded this so that it's kind of the same, that would have been nice, but it's just extra, so just make sure that you type it correctly. Then they say the field names used in the formula must be enclosed in square brackets. So that's just to tell Microsoft Access, okay, this is the name of one of our field names on the other data on this worksheet over here. So find the salary, here's the salary, okay, use that value, so use that value, and then multiply that by 5 and divide it by 100. Okay, and adjust the width of the column so that all the formula can be seen like this. Okay, so I already did that, so whenever you see that symbol over there, it means you can make this column as big as you want. If you see it, just double click. The computer has been programmed to make that the perfect width. And in the next blank column, enter the following formula to calculate the new salary. So to get the new salary, we're going to say new salary. So it's going to be the name of this column over here. So over here, it's going to say new salary. And then we need to find the values of it. So we're going to say new salary. Okay, colon. And to get that, we just say salary plus pay raise. So whatever the value is of salary plus pay. Right, so make sure that you have it spelled exactly like you've spelled it here. If you think you might make an error, just copy the name, everything in front of the colon, and just paste it. I'm just going to make this big, and just paste it inside here, then you know you won't spell it incorrectly. So just for in case, if you know that you sometimes make spelling errors, just do that. So it's not going to change anything on mine, but let's say I might have forgot the R, so I copied it, and now I'm just going to paste it. Boom. So now I have the right one there, and if I press enter, there should be no error. If you see an error, you probably spelled something wrong. And the other option is also that you don't have a relationship over here, so just go make sure how to make a relationship there. And you can see now the new salary is this number plus this one. We can also change the pay raise to be, okay, for now let's not be fancy, let's just keep it like they said we had to keep it. Widen the column containing the formula. Okay, we did that, so it's easier to work with. Then they say click on the home screen, then view to the results of the query. Notice that the pay raise field is not formatted correctly. So that's what I wanted to say just now, because pay raise is not with what do you call it, with the currency symbol over here. So go back to the design view and right click the mouse button on the field as shown here. So design view, right click, okay, and then the following menu appears from which you should select properties. Okay, so we right click and we say properties. Okay, so then the property sheet appears on the right. That looks like this. That should have actually opened mine over here, properties. Oh, here we go. And then click on format and click on the drop down arrow and select euro from the list. So just make sure that it's for that one, and we just choose euro. Whoops, choose euro. And then what's the other one? Click on decimal places and click on the drop down arrow and select 0 from the list. So decimal places and click 0 on the list. You can also manually type this in, euro. It will also be fine. It's just better to rather choose from the options, because then you know you won't make a spelling mistake. And in the exam, you want to, you don't want to make any errors, so just choose the safest options. And we have now formatted this field. So just because you see numbers inserted in the correct place, do not assume that they are correct. It is easy to make mistakes with formula. Check the calculations manually with a calculator to ensure the output is correct. The new salary field also needs formatting so that the currency euro is shown and the data is shown to 0 decimal places. Make these changes in a similar way as above. Okay, so same thing. we just make sure that the properties, oops, the properties, even though it looks correct, just make sure that it is formatted to euro, and the decimal places should also be 0. Okay, so just make sure about that if they tell you that it should have this formatting, because if you just look at it, it looks good, like, yeah, but make sure that because this is what they're gonna mark you on. So all of this, the design view, that's what's important to them. And then click on home screen and view, and then to see the results of the query and check that they are correct. Save and close the query. So I want you to just make sure this looks right. 850 plus 17,000. Yes. Okay. All of this seems good. And they said euro, not pounds. Okay. Anyway, we're doing what the instructions tell us. And the other thing is, I just want you to print this as, okay, so also save, so save it. And if you save it, I've had people also who don't understand how to save it. They choose this option. They say save object as. Do not save it like this. Save the whole database. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything you have done. Make sure that the ACCDB access database is chosen, and just say save as. And then it's just asking to close all of those things. It doesn't want anything to be open, and just make sure that your file name is personnel database, and then you know you have the correct file. And then the other thing is, we just save this as a PDF. So print, not quick print, we say print, and then save Microsoft Print to PDF. And I believe if you just upload this for me, then that'll be fine. Otherwise, you can also, if this doesn't work for you, then just print screen. I just want to see a PDF of, okay, anyway, I want to see the screenshot of your data, and I also want to see the screenshot of your design view. So sorry about that. It's a bit late now, so I'm making a few errors when I'm speaking, but I would just like to see the final product, and then I would just like to see the design view with the property sheet. So if you can just add that so that I can see that, and this you save as a PDF. Oh, sorry. This you save as a PDF. So print to PDF, so it's already like that, and you just upload this file. You can call it whatever you want. I didn't specify what you should save it as, but I hope this video helps with this exercise. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day.